Good morning, children. This term last lesson from History, Unit 5, the Classical World. We will see about that introduction. When America, Australia and Africa remained outside the mainstream of world history, civilization blossomed in scattered areas of landmass of Europe and Asia, known as Eurasia. Some of them soon reached the classical stage. When the classical era was at its height, a chain of empires from Rome to Persia to Peshawar began to emerge. The expansion of major civilization eliminated the geographical gap and paved the way for interregional trade contacts and cultural exchange. This led to the transmission of ideas, technology, and art. The diffusion of the great religions of the world, beginning with Buddhism and later continuing with Christianity and Islam, can be understood in this context. Greece, the Hellenic world. Until 8th century BC, Greece was not different from the rest of the world. People were illiterate, craft specialization was primitive, and life was difficult. With the exception of Sparta, agriculture was limited by the mountainous terrain. However, the Greeks succeeded in founding colonies along the coast that helped them earn revenue through trade. As a result, by the 6th century BC, Greece turned into a network of city-states. Acropolis, a fortified city of ancient Greeks on a hill in Athens, is an illustrative example of their advancement. Though the city-states fought each other, they were bound together by trade, by a common alphabet, similar religious practices, and festivals. The illustrious example for the last one was the Olympic Festival of Sports and Games. Greeks' victory over Persians. King Darius, who was heading a great empire in Persia, decided to conquer the Greek city-states. The first Persian attack on Greece failed. This was due to the fact that Persian army suffered from disease and lack of food during its march. Therefore, in planning the second attack, the Persians avoided the land route and came by sea. The Greeks or Hellenes fought patriotically and defeated the Persian army at Marathon in 499 BC. Xerxes, King Darius' successor, conducted an expedition. Joined by Spartans this time, the Athenians persisted in their resistance, and in the final battle fought in Salamis, Persian ships were destroyed. Disheartened, Xerxes returned to Persia without achieving his end. Democracy in Hellenic Greece. When the Greek city-states first emerged, they still carried the legacy of the past. The rulers came from lines of traditional chieftains. Those who grew rich from the expansion of trade resented the privileges enjoyed by the old ruling families. At the age of tyrants, 6th century to 4th century BC proved to be a period of urban development with new buildings and enormous temples such as Olympian Zeus at Athens. Next one we will see about Athenian democracy. In Athens, the pressure from below resulted in the replacement of both oligarchy and tyranny by democracy. The lawmaking power in Athens was vested in an assembly open to all freemen. Judges and lower officials were chosen by lots. The arrangement was resented by the upper classes, who considered democracy to be the rule of the mob. The Persian danger had united the Greeks. When this danger was removed, they started quarreling again. The history of many Greek city-states was one of the continual struggles by the rich landowners against democracy. The only exception was Athens, where democracy survived for about 200 years. Pericles. Already you know about what is democracy. The word democracy literally means rule of the people. In reality, it excluded slaves, women and non-residents known as metics, traders and craftsmen. Okay, Pericles. Athens, a great leader, Pericles, who held power for 30 years. During his rule, Athens and Sparta were continuously at war with each other. The war is known as the Peloponnesian War. Athens, despite hostility and disturbance from Sparta, became a noble city with magnificent buildings. There were great artists and great thinkers. Historians therefore call this age of Pericles. Socrates. The Athenian government after Pericles did not like Socrates' way of founding truth. In a trial, Socrates was accused of refusing to accept the gods recognized by the state and corrupting the youth. The jury found Socrates guilty and sentenced him to die by drinking hemlock. Hemlock means poison. Rome, the Hellenistic world, beginnings of Hellenistic civilization. The Greek city-states did not have an elaborate bureaucracy. They were therefore able to show a great dynamism. Under Alexander the Great, the Greeks were able to establish a kingdom in Macedonia. This kingdom succeeded in annexing two historic empires of Egypt and the Middle East. But the entire period of Alexander's reign was spent on wars. School of science, mathematics and philosophy reached its peak in the Greek Egyptian city of Alexandria. Euclid, who formulated the basic theorems of geometry, Eratosthenes, who accurately calculated the diameter of the earth, and Hipparchus, the founder of trigonometry, were all products of this age. Ptolemy built on Hipparchus' ideas and later developed a model of motion of the planets and stars. Roman Republic. In the beginning, Rome was a society of agriculturists organized through lineage. Out of this developed of hereditary ruling class, Roman people were divided into two classes: patricians, rich landlords, and plebeians, common citizens. Patricians, rich landlords, and plebeians, common citizens. Rome was strategically located in the crisscrossing trade routes cutting north, south, and east, west. Taxes on passing traders added to the revenue derived from agriculture. By the late 6th century BC, Rome developed into a prosperous town. Class war between patricians and plebeians. Prisoners of war were enslaved in Rome. Thus, Rome produced a new labor force for the rich to exploit. Big landholders bought slaves cheaply and used them to cultivate their estates. The slave population grew, and by the 1st century BC, there were 2 million slaves when the total strength of free population was 3.25 million. Slave labor led to the impoverishment of free labor. Many poor peasants had to abandon their children who also ended up in the slave markets. The conflict between plebeians and patricians became bloodier. Tiberius Gracchus and Gaius Gracchus, through partitions, voiced their opinion in favor of the poor peasants. As the peasants supported their program, and senators, shocked by this development, murdered both of them. The martyrdom of the Gracchus brothers played a decisive role in the transformation of the Roman Republic into the Roman Empire. Next one, transfer of power from consuls to emperor. When Marius became consul with the support of the equites, that is a new rich or proprietored class below the rank of a senatorial class, he made an attempt to push through a land distribution bill in the Senate. This led to violence. The allies of Marius were killed. This resulted in a civil war between the followers of Marius and Sulla. After expelling Marius, Sulla reigned for 3 years as a virtual dictator. He was killed and succeeded by Cinna and Catalina. Establishment of Principate. The civil wars over social issues ended only to be replaced by civil wars between generals. Marius and Cinna against Sulla, Pompey against Julius Caesar. After Caesar's death, Brutus and Cassius against Mark Antony and Octavian, Caesar's nephew, and finally Octavian against Mark Antony. The rich, old and new alike felt that allowing Octavian, now called Augustus, to establish a de facto monarchy was the only way to re-establish political stability. The period starting from Augustus is known as Principate. Augustus called himself imperator, equal to the English word emperor. Society under Principate. During the period of Principate, the imperial ruling class became far more prosperous than under the Republic. The period witnessed a great influx of luxury goods such as silk, spices and gems from the east. Cities were built on a grand scale with temples, theatres, stadia and colosseum, gymnasia, baths and markets. The rich people distracted the attention of the poor by organizing games and contests in the circuses, where the gladiators were forced to fight and kill each other. The most distinguished writers of the Augustan age brought glory to the empire. Pliny the Elder completed a voluminous encyclopedia of science. He called it natural history. Seneca was another well-known author of an encyclopedia of science. Horace in his Odes developed a philosophy that combined Epicurean justification of pleasure with stoic bravery in the face of trouble. Livy was more a prose stylist than a historian. The best known historian was Tacitus. Virgil's Aeneid glorified Roman imperialism. The Roman law attained its highest stage of development during the Principate. After the death of Augustus in 14 AD, had few enlightened and capable rulers, with the exceptions of Trajan, Antonius Pius and Marcus Aurelius. All others were tyrants. Marcus Aurelius stands apart from all others. As a philosopher, he authored many books. He was the first Roman emperor to send an embassy to China and establish contact with an Asian power. External invasions and the decline of Roman Empire. The empire, facing threats from barbarian incursions, depended on expensive mercenary armies. In AD 330, the center of the empire moved from Italy to the Greek-speaking city of Byzantium. But it was difficult to rule the western parts from such a distance. In 410 AD, the Goth Alaric led his forces to Rome. The Frank Clovis took control of Gaul. The Goth Theodoric proclaimed himself the Emperor of Rome. The final onslaught came from Vandals. In 470 AD, disgusted by the rule of Emperor Romulus Augustus, the Roman army led by Odovacier revolted and deposed him. This marked the end of Western Roman Empire. Empire building in East Asia, China dynasty. Wang Qiang, popularly known as Shi Huangdi, meaning the first emperor, entered the age of warring states in China. He crushed all local rulers and established a strong central government. However, uprisings of the peasantry, unlike in other cultures, occurred again and again in China. Such uprisings led to the collapse of Qin dynasty. Han dynasty and expansion of Chinese territories. Han dynasty AD 220, founded by Liu Pang, flourished for 400 years. Their capital was Chang'an. The most popular and powerful ruler was Wu Ti. His generals succeeded in driving away the Huns in the north. Thus, the Han Empire once again threw open the Silk Road for trade. A large export trade, mainly in silk, reached as far as the Roman Empire. In the north, artisans and herders of rival barbarian dynasties brought in new techniques like the method of harnessing horses and use of saddle and stirrup, techniques of buildings, bridges and mountain roads and seafaring. Such innovations made the Han Empire prosperous. At the beginning of the Christian era, the Han Empire rivaled that of Roman in size and wealth. Buddhism came to China from India during the reign of Han dynasty. With Buddhism came the influence of Indian art to China, and from China spread to Korea, and from there to Japan. Some of the Buddhist art of the time show the impact of Hellenistic styles. Han Emperor found it extremely difficult to control the big landowners. So after some decades of consolidation, China saw the emergence of several rival kingdoms marked by civil wars in North China. People abandoned their homes and farms and fled from there to the Yangtze region and beyond. The period after Han ruled witnessed political instability across the country. Rise of Christianity. After a brief period of glory in the days of the David and Solomon, the Jewish people had a great fall and experienced extreme hardship. While spreading out all over the Roman Empire and elsewhere, they hoped the Messiah would arrive to restore their pristine glory. Initially, they laid much hopes on Jesus. Jesus was against the rich and the hypocrites and condemned certain observances and ceremonials. This was not to the liking of the priests who turned against Jesus and handed him over to the Roman governor Pontius Pilate. Looked upon as a political by Roman authorities, Jesus was tried and crucified. After Jesus' crucifixion, St. Paul started spreading the Christian doctrine. Paul succeeded in his effort and Christianity gradually spread. Romans were prepared to tolerate Christianity, but the refusal of the Christians to pay respect to the emperor's image was viewed as political treason. It led to the persecution of Christians. Their property was confiscated and they were thrown to the lions. Yet the Roman Empire did not succeed in suppressing Christianity. One of the Roman emperors, Constantine, himself became a Christian. Christianity thus became the official religion of the empire. Byzantium. The Byzantium emperors who ruled from the city of Constantinople for about 1000 years called themselves Romans, but their language was Greek. The splendor of Constantinople with its luxurious royal places, its libraries, its scholars familiar with writings of Greeks and Romans, and its fascinating St. Sophia Cathedral or the legacies that they have left behind. However, in terms of development of science and technology, there was no progress during this period. The economics of the empire's provisions were in the hands of large local landowners. The small peasants always lived on the edge of poverty. The fundamental weakness of Byzantine civilization stood exposed when the participants of Fourth Crusade pillaged it and ruled it. The tottering empire finally fell to the Ottoman Turks in 1453. St. Sophia Cathedral. It was built in mid-6th century AD, the most magnificent building in Europe at that time. It was known for its innovative architectural techniques. This cathedral was turned into a mosque by the Ottoman Turks when they captured Constantinople. India during the classical period. The Husain period corresponded with the last days of the Roman Republic when Julius Caesar was alive. The player is said to have sent an embassy to Augustus Caesar, who succeeded Julius. 18 major works of Sangam age via 8 anthologies, 8 Togai and 10 idylls, Pattupat, compiled during the first 3 centuries of Harman era, were composed during this period. Sangam literature hailed its first secular literature of India. The corresponding period 4th and 5th AD in South India characterized as Calabra period. Teakwood, pepper, pearls, ivory, brocades and precious stones and the like were exported from the Malabar coast to Babylonia, Egypt, Greece and Rome. Trade with Rome further flourished. Look at this picture. This is the Western and Eastern Roman Empire that time. Thank you, ma. Learn well.